Hello, my name is Mr. Snrub, and I come from, someplace far away. Yes, that will do.
He's one of the most notorious villains in TV history for a reason. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst things Mr. Burns has done.
Excellent.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at 10 of the absolute worst atrocities that Mr. Burns has committed throughout the entire run of The Simpsons.
The intruder appears to be a young male aged 9 to 11.
Release the hound.
Number 10. Mistreating and endangering his employees.
I suppose that's normal background radiation, the kind you'd find in any well-maintained nuclear facility.
It's no secret that the megalomaniacal, greedy, and incredibly selfish Mr. Burns isn't the greatest employer in Springfield. Sure, there are relatively little things like intentionally spying on his employees through security cameras and not bothering to learn their names.
Hello,
But then there's the fact that he callously cuts their dental plans,
So long, dental plan!
willfully ignores even basic safety regulations, and regularly drops them down a secret trapdoor in his office with the full intention of killing them. Next time you whine about your boss, just remember they don't have a secret trapdoor in their office. At least we hope they don't.
There's a light bulb out on level P2!
Oh, good lord. The trapdoor's under renovation. It's not safe.
Number 9. Lil Lisa's patented animal slurry.
Yes, thank you, everyone. But 10% of your applause should go to my little partner, Lisa Simpson.
If you thought that Mr. Burns was redeemable, your hopes were crushed when he unveiled Lil Lisa's patented animal slurry. Throughout the episode, The Old Man and Elisa, Lisa tries to steer Burns away from his evil ways by teaching him the value of recycling.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term, you adorable little ragamuffin.
He even opens his own recycling plant, but earns the ire of Lisa when he shows her the best part of the factory. 1 million plastic beer holders netted to catch sea life and turn them into an edible slurry. Yeah, that's not how recycling works, at least for not evil people.
What's going on?
I call it the Burns Omni-Net. It sweeps the sea clean.
Number 8. Stealing oil from an elementary school. Once he discovers that there's oil underneath Springfield Elementary, Burns immediately begins a slant drilling operation and steals the oil from the school. Not only is stealing the school's wealth despicable, but his actions result in consequences throughout Springfield. Nearby Moe's Tavern is closed because of dangerous fumes, some school staff is laid off, the Springfield Retirement Castle is destroyed, and Santa's little helper is injured when an oil stream annihilates Bart's treehouse. It's all a brilliant commentary on the total disregard of greedy oil tycoons and business magnates, and it shows that Burns will do anything, including destroying Springfield, for a profit.
Oh, those wheels are squeaking a bit. Perhaps I could sell him a little oil.
You twisted old monster!
Number 7. Hitting Bart with his car and not caring about it. While he's skateboarding around Springfield, Bart is hit by Mr. Burns and suffers a near-death experience. While accidents certainly happen, it's Burns' callous disregard for Bart's well-being that earns this a spot on our list. While Smithers checks on Bart and shows some concern for his health, Burns just wants to give him a nickel and drive away.
Just give him a nickel and let's get going. I think we should call an ambulance, sir.
Later in the episode, he offers the Simpsons $100 in compensation, which Homer refuses. We first see Mr. Burns' penchant for evil, and with that revelation, a classic TV villain was truly born.
So extortion is the name of your little game, is it, Simpson? Very well. Then you get nothing.
Number 6. Planning to kill puppies to make a tuxedo.
There you go. There you go.
The 6th episode, 2001 Greyhounds, was clearly influenced by 101 Dalmatians, not just in its title, but in the way Mr. Burns mirrors Cruella de Vil throughout the episode. When Santa's little helper fathers a couple of dozen puppies with a race dog, Burns and Smithers kidnap the young doggos so Burns can make a fancy greyhound fur tuxedo out of them.
But a greyhound fur tuxedo would be best, so let's prepare these dogs.
Kill 2 for matching.
To be fair, he ultimately doesn't go through with the plan. On the other hand, he does bust out these lyrics.
See my Vest, see my vest, made from real gorilla chest. Feel this sweater, there's no better than authentic Irish setter.
Number 5. Sexually harassing and firing Marge. After the Simpsons are faced with an expensive house repair, Marge gets a job at the plant to pay for the work. Burns immediately takes a liking to Marge, but she refuses his advances.
You're fired!
You can't fire me just because I'm married.
Burns instantly fires her in response, and when she threatens to sue, he makes an inappropriate sexual remark and, a purring noise.
You don't have to sue me to get my pants off.
He's not only a disgusting boss, but a disgusting person in general. While much of Burns' evil is outlandishly exaggerated for comedic effect, this scene is uncomfortably realistic, especially when you take the modern Me Too movement into account.
Come on, homie. Let's go before he fires you too.
Number 4. Attempting to seal Homer in a crypt. And if he's not sexually harassing Marge, he's trying to immure her husband inside a crypt. In the 14th season episode, C.E. Doe, Homer takes a course on successmanship, overthrows Burns, and becomes the head of the power plant.
But the titular head of the power plant is now Mr. Homer J. Simpson.
That's right.
To take back power, Burns drugs Homer and attempts to bury him alive in the Burns family mausoleum. However, his plan is foiled when Homer simply walks over the tiny wall he has painstakingly erected. We get wanting to take back power, but sealing a person alive inside a tomb? Good thing he was too old and out of shape to build a proper wall.
There you go.
Number 3. Trying to kill Grandpa and Bart.
Burns is after me 'cause he wants the Hellfish Bonanza.
In a 7th season episode, Burns and Grandpa become the only surviving members of a World War II infantry squad, the Flying Hellfish. The Flying Hellfish stole priceless paintings during the war, locked them away, and made a pact that the last surviving member would inherit the expensive artifacts. To become the last surviving member, Burns hires a hitman to kill Grandpa.
Smithers, I want that man killed.
And then, when Grandpa and Bart actually locate the paintings, Burns kicks Bart into a strong box, which in turn falls into the water.
So long, Sarge. See you at the reunion in November.
Burns clearly values money over everything else, including human lives.
They're gaining on us, sir. We'll have to jettison something. It's been an honor to serve you, sir.
Number 2. Possibly murdering his mother.
Mr. Burns can't stand talking to his mother. He never forgave her for having that affair with President Taft.
There's not a whole lot of love between Burns and his mother. First, he abandoned her for a billionaire when he was just a child. We later learn that Burns holds a grudge against his mother for having had an affair with President Taft, and he eventually attempted to murder her by unplugging her life support system. However, the plan didn't work, and his mother tormented him for 5 more decades.
That improvident lackwit. Always too busy striding about his atom mill to call his own mother.
That's bad enough, but in one episode, Burns references eliminating his mother for, quote, getting in his way.
Cause of parents' death? Got in my way.
That said, he has also stated that a lack of indoor plumbing caused her death, so we don't really know what to believe.
Sorry about pulling the plug on you and all. Who could have known you'd pull through and live for another 5 decades?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions.
The man chosen to deliver this precious cargo to Europe was America's wealthiest and therefore most trustworthy citizen, Sir Montgomery Burns. Unfortunately, the money never arrived. Well, this is a kick in the knickers.
We found a missing Brazilian soccer team working in your reactor core.
That plane crashed on my property.
Master Burns, carry on.
My leg's gone gimpy.
Number 1. Blocking out the sun.
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun.
Burns isn't afraid to put the entirety of Springfield at risk to get what he wants. To discourage a strike, he once shut off the entire town's power supply. And in Who Shot Mr. Burns, he unveiled his most nefarious, James Bondian scheme, blocking out the sun with a giant disk so the residents of Springfield would be forced to use his nuclear power.
I will do the next best thing. Block it out.
While Burns has always been evil, this is the scheme that finally pushed Smithers over the edge. After voicing his displeasure with Mr. Burns, Burns fires him for insubordination. When even Smithers calls Burns insane, you get a feeling for just how truly evil the man can be.
Mr. Burns was the closest thing I ever had to a friend. But he fired me, and now I spend my days drinking cheap scotch and watching Comedy Central. Oh, dear God.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.